New details tonight about an incident 1 month ago where two pit bulls brutally attacked three people in Franklinton. Police shot one of the dogs. The other has since been euthanized. The county has identified the owner of the dog and is working with the prosecutor to determine if that person will face charges. Tonight, one victim is back home from the hospital and adjusting to his new normal after the attack.
And we do want to warn you, some of the details of his injuries and the photos may be hard to see. 10 TV's Carla Rogner reports from Franklinton.
Eric Colon says he was taking out the trash at his Franklinton apartment on the 4th of July when he saw those dogs attacking a person on their bicycle and tried to intervene. 1 month later, he says the attacks have changed his life both physically and emotionally.
I was walking like this with my bag, and I was going to that dumpster.
It's a path he walks all the time. Now this simple chore puts Eric Colon on edge.
I sit right here in the corner, and I'll be like, before I take the trash out, because I'm not going through this no more.
Puts Eric Colon on edge.
I sit right here in the corner, and I'll be like,
welcome back. Now, this is just one example of how dog lovers ruin society. More specifically, how they ruin neighborhoods, communities. Another example of why these people are the worst people to have in anyone's community, anywhere across the world. It is time that we all recognized it and admit it. Dog owners, dog lovers are the worst people for society. There's no other demographic that causes this much of a negative impact on a community. No other demographic. As the number one problem in this country, we have to destroy dog culture. That's the goal. Complete destruction. Now, you heard what this man said. You saw him give a demonstration of what he does before he takes out the trash. He'll peek around the corner and he'll look around to see whether or not the dogs are there. But listen, even if you don't see dogs, go ahead and take a few steps towards that trash can. They could come out of nowhere in a second or two. You and all the rest of us needs to focus on being armed. Being armed. Take yourself down to the shooting range as well. But it is war. We are at war with dog lovers. When you have to do stuff like this, you're at war with dog lovers. I just wish people would go ahead, come out, acknowledge it, admit it, and also admit that these are the worst people to have as neighbors, the absolute worst. Let's continue.
before I take the trash out, because I'm not going through this no more.
Colon says all he remembers about July 4th is fighting off the dogs.
Them dogs wanted to kill me. If they'd have caught my neck, I would have got killed. But I was frightened, just fighting for my life.
Were you scared?
Huh? Was I scared? I couldn't fight with two big pit bulls.
Medics rushed Colon to Grant Medical Center, where he spent most of July, recovering from injuries on his whole body.
My nose, my eye.
The injury stopping him from going to work and enjoying his life.
Yes, look at all of this. I don't like looking like this. I haven't been to the fair. I haven't been nowhere because I never look like this. I like to look presentable when I go to places. But these dogs attack me and I can't go nowhere. I don't even like to leave my house.
How many times have we heard this? Now, this is what I want everybody to focus on. Notice how you find people of all ages saying the exact same thing. From little 4-year-olds to old people like this man. Now I'm afraid to go outside. I'm afraid to go across the street, to go to the park, to take the trash out. Everybody who's had experiences with these inbred mutants, their life is changed. Just tell me what other dynamic in society does this. Dogs are the worst addition to any community, any and all communities. Now listen, I look out too. You know, I'm always looking left, looking right, looking around, scanning the perimeter, because dogs, they'll run up to you and be right up on you in no time. But the difference is I'm ready. You better be ready too.
I like to leave my house.
Cologne says he's a fighter, fighting off pit bulls, now fighting through the pain that comes with managing infections.
No, man, listen. You are in no shape to be fist fighting anything. You should not be fighting people or dogs. I mean, seriously, your little punches, they're not that effective, bro. They're not that effective. There are no grown men afraid of your punches. And there are no pit bulls, no big, large, wild dogs. They're not afraid of your little punches, man. And from what it looks like you can hardly even raise your arm to throw a punch, bruh. You got your little fist out shaking and your arm looks weak. Okay? Your arm, you need more protection than this, bro. See? Right there, look. That little punch there, boy. No, you ain't gonna do nothing with that. But get eaten up. You need to carry a firearm. Nothing less. I want people to stay mindful. It's like whenever they're dealing with dogs, firearms are off limits. That's what it seems like. People never mention, they never bring up having a Roscoe. That's what you need. At the very least, a BB gun. But just walking out there naked with nothing but a trash bag in your hand, that ain't gonna cut it, bro.
Cologne says he's a fighter, fighting off pit bulls, now fighting through the pain that comes with managing infections and even walking. But for him, the hardest part is fighting off the memories of this July 4th.
And I love dogs. All these neighbors, I say hi to the dogs.
You don't love dogs. No, you don't. You're just brainwashed. That's all it is. You've been socialized by society, by dog culture. What you saying hi to dogs for? Why would you do that? They don't know what hi means. You may as well talk to a brick wall. Yeah, don't be proud of that. Don't be proud of the fact that you say hi to dogs. And you telling me you still love dogs? And I'm telling you, you don't love dogs. No, you don't. Not if you peeking around the corner, looking left, looking right, and you scared to take out the trash. If you love these things, then you can't wait to interact with them. You want to interact with them. That's not the case. You're trying to avoid them. So don't sit there and tell me that you love them.
All these neighbors, I say hi to the dogs and everything, but now I don't even mess with dogs.
Now you talking. And it took you getting mauled to reach that point. And this is what we're trying to say. Us over here, we're not going to wait to go through something like this. I refuse to hear stories like this, read about stories like this, and then go on about my day-to-day business unarmed. No, thank you. Let me back that up. That's worth hearing again. You used to love dogs. Now you don't want nothing to do with them.
Mess with dogs.
Eric says he'll continue to have nurses visit the house until he gets better. Eventually, he'll need to have plastic surgery to fix the scars on his face.
And that's the trash can. That's the actual, not trash can, that's the dumpster. That he's now afraid to walk to. This is why I said, people, it is war with these nutters. And they know it. They wage war on their neighbors 24/7. These are the most inconsiderate people in the world. When you move into a community, you're supposed to be the type of neighbor that helps keep your neighbors safe. You contribute to each other's safety. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I don't want you doing anything crazy that could get me hurt. Dog lovers are the opposite. You can't get any worse than dog owners.
Reporting in Franklinton, Carla Rogner, 10 TV News.
Thank you, Carla. Well, 10 TV continues to follow the latest on dog attacks in Ohio. Earlier this summer, we told you about Avery's Law, which aims to keep families safe by preventing dangerous dog attacks. Now, the law was named after Avery Russell, a 12-year-old girl from Reynoldsburg who was viciously attacked by 2 pit bulls last year.
Yeah, and people still getting attacked. Some good that law did, right?
If this becomes law, it would allow dog wardens to take a dog involved in an attack immediately and create stronger penalties for owners of dangerous dogs.
There you go. They're still free to attack people. And look at this filth right here. These disgusting mutts. Just leeching on our resources. Just a bunch of beggars, violent, bloodthirsty turds. They're so worthless, and we're wasting resources on them. Now, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. I wanted this story to headline it because it's one of the worst things that can happen to people, where they're afraid to go to the mailbox. They're afraid to take out the trash. Yeah, this needs to be talked about. I don't know if y'all remember. I don't know if y'all remember this, but they recently did an update. This neighborhood hasn't received mail for months. I mean, we're talking about how these people ruin communities. Throw this in there. You haven't received mail for months, all because of a nutter that's on your block.
Where people living in a Beltsville neighborhood say they haven't received mail in months at their home.
Yeah, it's all because of a barking and aggressive dog at a postal standoff. Straight out live to 7 News reporter John Gonzalez, who has got more about this suspended mail delivery and the dog at the center of it all, who we suspect you actually ran into him. Behind glass, though. John,
we kind of did. Yeah, behind behind glass, which is probably a good thing, Adam. Yeah, this is more than just an inconvenience for some on Elk Ridge Court. One resident telling 7 News that his green card application was delayed because of this mail situation. And at the center of this standoff, if you will, is that American Bully dog that has lived in the neighborhood for some time with its owner. Take a look at the video here. As we stood at the front door, we captured a dog of the same breed barking repeatedly from the window as we approached. Now, nearly a year ago, a mail carrier reported that the dog in question bit him and chased him multiple times on different occasions. Well, delivery service was halted shortly after that. Another neighbor says he's facing late fees on missing Easy Pass tolls. A couple who just moved in never imagined they would have to ask about mail service before moving in. Well, the dog owner spoke to us through a Ring doorbell camera and told us she didn't have much to say. Well, her neighbors are speaking out, wondering how long this is going to last.
I'm not in the country, so I can't be talking to anybody right now.
Any thoughts on what's happened
All
with
right,
the mail?
thank you. No further comments. Thank you.
She said, I'm out of the country. I'm out of the country, so I can't speak on it. I'm not familiar with laws like that. What difference does that make? You can't talk because you're currently in Canada? Okay, lady. But here you see, once again, you have a scenario where it's a female dog owner. And what you notice is when it's a female owner, the dogs are more aggressive. They're generally more aggressive because they feel like they're the alpha. Because these female owners allow these dogs to have their way. They don't want to discipline these things. Y'all have no business, especially with bully breeds. The only language they use to communicate with each other is aggression, intimidation, violence. And y'all basically taking an oath to never deal with these things in that manner. And it results in y'all having more aggressive dogs. Y'all the worst people, the worst in all communities. That lady that stays in my apartment complex. What do you know? I walk into my apartment building and this thing is off leash, roaming through the hallways. And she's standing there with her big, fat, obese self and did not take one step towards me to retrieve her dog. You're in more danger when it's a female owner, but do not underestimate the male owners. You are in just as much danger, just in a different way. These nutters try to convince us that they have control over the dog's brains. And that's where a lot of people get caught up and confused.
Neighborhood for some time with its owner. Take a look at the video here. As we stood at the front door, we captured a dog of the same breed barking repeatedly from the window as we approached. Now, nearly a year ago, a mail carrier reported that the dog in question bit him and chased him multiple times on different occasions. Well, delivery service was halted shortly after that. Another neighbor says he's facing late fees on missing Easy Pass tolls. A couple who just have.
It's not right that we had to.
What's happened
All
with
right,
the mail?
thank you. No further comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's not right that we had to go to the post office to get our mails, and we can't go every day. So in my case, I have to go on the weekends because I work. So yeah, it's being stressful.
No, this is beyond stressful. That lady is an enemy. She should be treated like an enemy to the neighborhood. And I'm telling you now, she wouldn't have no dogs if I were her neighbor. Oh no. No, those dogs will be gone. I guarantee that. You're not about to have me going downtown to get my mail. These people are despicable. Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, it's being stressful.
Now, we are live at the post office, the closest post office here in Beltsville. It's still more than 3 miles away, a 10-minute drive each way. Now, it's usually a last resort, but
you have ruined that community. You ruined the whole neighborhood. That's what these nutters do. I mean, what an inconvenience. You got to go to the post office to get your mail, all because of a nutter. Now, on top of that, you got to look out for your safety every time you walk outside. No, you wouldn't have no dog if I was your neighbor. My neighbor, who had her dog roaming around in the hallways off leash, that dog got shot. I'm not playing no games with you nutters. I will up 7 and pop your mutt in a heartbeat. It tries any of this nonsense with me. And understand, all they got to do in this state, in Ohio, according to the law, is approach you aggressively. That dog that approached me aggressively got popped and turned around and went back to its owner. And I want to touch on that real quick. There was a dog attack recently where this dog was roaming through the neighborhood attacking people. The dog had ventured far away from its owner's house, far away. And it was just out roaming, terrorizing people for a long time, until somebody shot it with a BB gun. Maybe some of you have seen this report. It surfaced, I would say, within the past week. So this dog, as soon as it got shot, went directly back to its owner's home. Just like with this lady. She stood there calling the dog to come back, and it ignored her. But as soon as it got popped, it ran directly to her. And she was able to put her hands on it. These mutants know full well what they're doing. They know where their owners live. They're not just aimlessly wandering around. They know what they're doing. And they know where their owners live. So they will purposely leave the owner just to terrorize and attack people. And as soon as somebody give it a dose of its own medicine, it'll run back to its owner. Pathetic little cowardly, worthless vermin. This is another story that surfaced, I think, a couple days ago. I made a whole video about this. These scenarios. Look at this. Drug overdose and dog attack being investigated. Let me increase the size here. Pennsylvania State Police investigating incidents, a possible overdose, and a dog attack at the same residence. Trooper William J. Evans III, public information officer, stated a person overdosed inside the residence where a dog attacked its owner. Look at how they worded that. Look at how they worded that. They did that because they're ashamed that the dog attacked this person after the overdose. And what the dog was actually trying to do, it was trying to eat its owner. They've done it several times. Most of you have seen the video that I made on it. Is that love? You tell me. Is that the love you dog lovers talk about all the time? Where these things constantly attack their owners? Here's the video right here. I'm going to share a link. Dogs are evil and deceptive. Never trust them. On this video, I share a number of reports where these people were eaten by their own dogs. After passing away inside their home, their dog started to eat them. And they usually start with their owner's face, the eyeballs, because it's a soft area. These things don't care nothing about you at all. So y'all crashing out for creatures that have no love for you at all. And that is pathetic. That's truly pathetic. Now, dog owners are very cringe, as we all know. But I'm going to share with y'all something that takes the cake. We talk about how ignorant these dog owners are. And listen, that was an understatement. These people are beyond just ignorant. You know, ignorant means a lack of knowledge, lack of information. That means we're all ignorant to an extent. But this right here is a little too much. It's scary how crazy these people are, how mentally unstable they are. It really is. Check this out. The title is My Most Protective Dog. She's calling this a Rottweiler. That's not a Rottweiler.
Rottweilers aren't for the weak or the scared. She's waiting for help to get in the car.
No. Ready? Get up.
Great. Love that. The winner is Trigga, the most protective.
She said that that's an example of how protective it is. Look at the chat. Look at the comment section. Virtually everybody is in there is telling her to take the dog to a vet because it has stomach pains. Look at this. This person said, it saddens me when people own dogs without understanding them. That was clearly a pain reaction. Like so many others have pointed out, this dog needs a vet check. When a dog gets aggressive due to, okay. Yeah, he's saying when the dog experiences pain, that their bark sounds different. That it's like a whiny bark. Look at this. Take the dog to the vet and get a full checkup. Stomach cancer can go unnoticed except for pain when picked up like that. causing the aggression. All throughout this comment section, take it to a vet. It's its stomach. Its stomach. Take it to a vet. Take it to a vet. And this ignorant broad thinks that it's simply being protective. So just imagine, I mean, you go inside of her home, you got a death wish. A death wish. And you see, she got multiple dogs in there. I saw at least 2. Really, I think, 3. 2 or 3. Yeah, it's 3 of them in there. And she's driving around with these dogs. Can you imagine if she went to a grocery store or shopping mall, parked in the parking lot, and these things were to actually escape? What do you think she would do? You think she'd be able to stop it? These people are dangerous. They're dangerous. They are so ignorant that they are dangerous. This woman is not even like, don't you think that's odd, lady? The dog is waiting for you to pick it up, to help it inside the truck. And when you do, it barks at you aggressively. And you think that's funny? You just laughing at everything? Probably acquired these 3 dogs laughing the whole way. This woman, you are the type of person to get attacked by your own dog. Everything is normal one day, and suddenly we hear you screaming, begging for help. Then here come EMS and you being dragged out of there on a stretcher. You're exactly the type of ignorant nutter to not only be attacked by your own dogs, but to be the owner responsible for someone else getting attacked. This goofy chick is saying that this is the dog being protective. You really can't make this up. So as seriously as we take dog owners and dog culture, we need to step it up a little bit. I know it feels weird stepping outside, being armed, having to look left, right, and always be aware of your surroundings. But it'll be worth it. You don't want to go through being mauled, especially not by no large mutt. Ridiculous. Happy hump day to everybody. Stay ready. This is not a joke. This is not entertainment. I'm doing what these law enforcement officers, politicians, etc. should be doing. Warning the general public of a permanent lethal threat that is all around you. That's what this is. Dogs, dog owners, y'all represent a nonstop, constant threat to everyone around you. And you are an enemy to civilization. Shout out to all of you able to join me for this live stream. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.